Welcome to the very first video in our Procreate Parachute course, dropping you straight into the creation zone and getting you to a point of skill. Given that this is our very first video, let me tell you how each video is going to run. We'll cover 3 things per video because that's enough for anyone to get their teeth into at a time. And I'll introduce the 3 things at the beginning, then give you the details of each one, a quick summary at the end before we move on. Given that this is a Procreate course, I'm assuming that you have the Procreate app downloaded and installed on your iPad and that it is the latest version. If you're not sure whether it's the latest version, you can tap on the App Store icon and just go and check for updates for Procreate and then pause the video, come on back. So the 3 things that we're going to cover for this video are very basic housekeeping. We're going to make sure that your Apple Pencil is paired via Bluetooth. We're going to make sure that you have a place to back up your images within the settings, and we're going to make sure that your social media sharing can be done directly out of your Procreate app. So let's dive in. We're not going to go into the Procreate app yet. We're still on our iPad. We're going into settings, and we are going to check whether your Apple Pencil is paired. So you can see here my Bluetooth is switched on, but my Apple Pencil doesn't appear in the list of devices. So what I've done is I've taken the cap off. I'm working on Apple Pencil 1. I've plugged it into the charging and pairing slot, and you can see I have this little message coming up saying Apple Pencil would like to pair. So I just tap on pair, and there it comes. My Apple Pencil is now connected. I can take it out of the slot and put the cap back on. So that's done. If your Apple Pencil doesn't appear in the list, there are a couple of other options. If it doesn't pair when you try to pair it, it might be that your Apple Pencil is not charged. It might also be that there's just some issue going on. Sometimes I have a problem that my Apple Pencil is charged and I've put it in the slot and it just doesn't pair. And then what I do is I tap on this eye and I say forget this device, and I pair it all over again as if it's never been paired before. But that may not happen to you. I hope it doesn't. If it does, that is the solution. Okay, so number 2, we want to set up, still within settings here, an external saving place for your images. So I'm scrolling down on the left until I get to the Procreate icon in my application list. And here you can see I've tapped on that and I'm looking at the various things that I get Procreate to do. So I have here at the bottom of this list here, document storage. I have opted to store my images in my personal Dropbox account. You can also link to iCloud if you want to. iCloud doesn't sync in real time, so you need to make sure that your iPad is plugged in to a PowerPoint and charging or charged in the evenings to complete the iCloud kind of off iPad storage in the evening to protect your images. The other thing that you can also tick while you're here is I have said that it can access my photographs, it can access my camera, and those are all the things that you really need at the moment. So your final stop, if you want to be able to share your images directly to social media, is you need to make sure that you have the appropriate social media apps on your iPad installed and logged in. So you can see here I have my Facebook app, which I allow to read and write my photographs, and I also I have Flickr installed there as well, and I have Instagram. So I basically I use Facebook and Instagram mostly for my sharing, and because I have those set up and logged in on my iPad, I can share directly out of Procreate. So if you haven't got those apps installed yet, now's the time to do it. Okay, so what we covered, basically making sure that your Apple Pencil is paired and ready to write, making sure that your images are safe because you've got them backing up to something external to your iPad, so that if something happens to your iPad, you have your images somewhere else and you can restore them. And the final thing is to make sure that your social media sharing is going to be absolutely seamless by installing the right apps and making sure that they are signed in.